This is the auditory version to my Substack, Encouragement Only by Janice Comments. This One Precious Life Women's History Month. I wrote my Substack newsletter on March 5th, and I admit today is March 10th. So while events in our world change, I am going with the flow and I will give you the auditory version of the newsletter. Dear friends, with each newsletter, I rewrite and write as the week progresses, and as you know, it's progressed a little more now. Today, however, I want to focus on strategies to maintain balance, especially when standing against strong gales of chaos. Historian Dr. Joanne B. Freeman advises writing down our thoughts in this place and time. Historically, journals and diaries record what is happening. For those new to my newsletter, let me introduce myself. I'm an artist, a retired school teacher of English and art, a wife, a mother, a traveler, an only child, and a lover of beauty. My undergraduate majors were painting and British literature, and I had a many-decade crush on the British Isles. With each newsletter, I record this auditory version. In 2018, an unexpected travel adventure to the City of Light and the French countryside came my way, and I have never looked back. This experience opened many doors for me. Painting opportunities, a new business, new friends, endless study about places and French culture, and the often perplexing study of French language. Currently, I'm preparing for a return. Mary Oliver's poem, The Summer Day, from which I get my title, and the poem is at the end of this newsletter, came to mind recently. And it concludes with this question. Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? I've been asking myself that a lot lately, and I ask you also. Wherever you are, whatever your status and condition, what do you plan to do with this precious life? Who are the people and activities closest to you? What beliefs sustain you? Are there activities and travel that you have been putting off? Dreams deferred. Projects, skills, creative life forces yearning to flow through you. Countries and cultures to learn more about. Novels to read, recipes to cook. As our world drastically shifts, do I need to change my focus? Is the pursuit of peace of mind less important or more important? I definitely say the latter, more important. If you've been listening to me, you know that I emphasize or advise a creative practice. A creative practice can improve our attitude each day. And I'm going to talk about music. How does music fit into your life? Do you play an instrument? When I was a child, piano lessons gave me a hint of another realm. At eight years about 8 years ago, I bought a keyboard and occasionally I play a very few elementary tunes. My mother was a very good pianist and owned a baby grand piano and really wanted me to play. My struggle to play today reminds me of what a challenge learning a new skill can be. And I emphasize that when I teach art workshops. Don't give up. I am not as musical as the other family members. However, I enjoy music to boost my mood and soothe my spirit. Uh, optimistically, often imagining her life as a character in a musical. I love that. Our daughter enjoys film scores and movie soundtracks. Upbeat music is soul lifting, as we know, and there might be a theme here. I'm from the City of Angels, and I have fallen in love with the City of Light. In honor of Women's History Month, today I'm sharing a musical glimpse into the cultures of both cities via two women who create musical history daily. I am no expert on French music, and as I am learning French, I often Google the English lyrics to a song. I enjoy several French CDs that our daughter left behind from high school days. I was first introduced to Caroline de Maigret, the model. I'm probably mispronouncing her name. She's a model, music producer, author by a favorite. I was introduced by a favorite podcaster, Oliver G. of the Earful Tower. And he introduced her by saying, this week on the podcast, it's Caroline de Maigret, the author of How to Be Parisian Wherever You Are, the model, the music producer, and the ultimate Parisienne, if you ask me. I saw her walking down the street in central Paris, and I stopped to ask her if she would like to be on my show. She said, yes, let's do it right now. And you can listen to that podcast, which is linked in my newsletter. I began to follow Demagre on Instagram, where she daily introduces a new song, and they're not all French. And I'm reading her whimsical book written with three good friends, How to Be a Parisienne Wherever You Are. And in 2019, the four followed up with another book, Older but Better but Older, The Art of Growing Up. Back in the States, when driving on a weekday morning in California, I often tune into KCRW, an NPR member station broadcasting from Santa Monica College, where DJ, presenter, voice artist, curator, and host of Morning Becomes Eclectic, Novena Carmel introduces a mix of new and old tunes. And I love how this younger woman introduces a mix of 70s funk and modern pop music. Carmel is the daughter of Sly Stone. Carmel's, and this is what it says on the KCRW website. Carmel's family connection to Brazil, along with her Japanese bilingual and bicultural schooling, further expanded her worldview. She moved to Los Angeles at 18 to attend UCLA. She has been a proud LA resident ever since, with a deep appreciation for the city's contributions to the global cultural landscape. Like the eclectic treasures and pieces of furniture inherited from my mother and uncle, my musical tastes are broad. So, as you are seeking balance, nurture your body, mind, soul, and spirit. What do you plan to do with this precious life? Gather with those close to you. Meditate on the beliefs and faiths that sustain you. Listen to sources of who speak truth. Ponder the creative forces yearning to flow through you. Grab your sketchbook, musical instrument, or activewear. Color and make music boldly. I don't have clear-cut answers, but I know we are on this planet together. Reach out. Do not defer your dreams any longer. Last year, I applied to an artist residency in Provence, France, and I have been accepted. So I will share my future adventures with you. My life in France provides new perspectives, fills me with beauty and joy, and introduces me to fascinating people. As always, I invite you to travel with me. Included on my newsletter is a gallery of memorable women who inspire my world, and they come from a variety of walks of life. They include Novena Carmel, the host of Morning Becomes Eclectic, the Reverend Canon Jan Naylor Cope of the Washington National Cathedral, the Reverend Canon Dana Colley Corsello of the Washington National Cathedral, Caroline Desmaigret, music producer, model, author, Dr. Joanne B. Freeman, historian, Mary Oliver, poet, Heather Cox Richardson, historian. And their pictures are all in my newsletter. Who are some of the women who inspire your world? I would love to hear. Inspired by all of you, Janice comments. And let me read for you the poem by Mary Oliver, The Summer Day. Many of you have heard this poem. Who made the world? Who made the swan and the black bear? Who made the grasshopper? This grasshopper, I mean. The one who has flung herself out of the grass. The one who is eating sugar out of my hand. Who is moving her jaws back and forth instead of up and down. Who is grazing with her enormous and complicated eyes. Now she lifts her pale forearms and thoroughly washes her face. Now she snaps her wings open and floats away. I don't know exactly what a prayer is. I do know how to pay attention, how to fall down into the grass, how to kneel in the grass, how to be idle and blessed, how to stroll through the fields, which is what I have been doing all day. Tell me, what else should I have done? Doesn't everybody die at last and too soon? Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? Thank you, and see you next time. Janice.